So every time you do your mid-year review of your plans or end-of-year review, you feel like a failure. Like you have all these dreams, you're not doing them. So this year, finally, after we did our yearly planning, I was like, that's it, I'm gonna start it. Honestly, my master's training is the best training I've ever had in my life. I topped the class, but then something happened. Yeah, he just like took a cane and like beat me like 6-7 lashes. I'm a person who is big on justice. Like injustice, I can't deal with it. And I dropped, so I did only 3 electives in.
Hello and welcome back to Building Legacy with Nachie. This is a podcast where we have genuine conversations with inspiring people who are living intentionally and building legacies worth celebrating. So once again today, I have a very dear sister of mine. Yeah, I'm bringing all those that are dear to me. A very dear sister of mine. We recently met and connected. She is a researcher in the mental health and psychology space. She has about 15 years experience in that space. So we're going to chit chat with Edith Botchway-Commey.
Yeah.
That's her name. And as usual, let's hear her story, how far she's come, and what her journey has been like, and what kind of tips and learnings we can learn from her story. So you're welcome, Edith.
Thank you, Cha. I'm really glad to be with you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for honoring my invitation.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Just as the name of the podcast, Building Legacy.
Yeah, beautiful name, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what does legacy mean to you?
Big question. Thinking of this. So legacy to me is being able to touch the lives that God has assigned or destined me to touch, in whatever facet it is in life, and doing my best to do that. So that is like everybody that I meet with that encounter should live better than they were when they met me. That's legacy to me.
Wow. That's another definition that I haven't. You're the first person who's giving us that sort of version of what legacy is. But it still ties in with the theme of the podcast. Thank you so much. So who is Edith? Who is young? How did Edith grow up? How did you get to this point?
Yeah, so Edith. Nice name. I'll go with Edith Nadu, right? I prefer my Nadu name to Edith.
Is that your...
That's my middle name.
Oh, that's your traditional name.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's my traditional name. So yeah, I grew up in Ghana. So I'm from Ghana. I grew up in a little village, now town, called Afienya, which is in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. Afienya.
Yeah, Afienya.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah. I think it's becoming more of a...
Yeah, it is. It's growing quite rapidly with lots of developments coming around that place. So yeah, that's where I grew up. When I grew up, it was a really small town with amazing people. We were all very like united and small town. Everyone knows everyone.
Oh, wow.
Everyone's child is everyone's child. It was really amazing. So I grew up in a family with I have 3 brothers who are all older than me. So I'm like last, and I've got a stepsister as well. I grew up with my mom and dad, living in that beautiful community. We had a church community as well, but beyond church, the whole community was like one family. We attend each other's events, support each other through different things. I had a beautiful upbringing in my home. It was
Mom and dad.
Yeah, mom and dad. It was beautiful. It was a home full of love and a very decent and healthy dose of discipline as well, which meant that we had responsibilities. Like there are things that I'm responsible for, things that my brothers are responsible for. So I'm grateful. I'm really grateful because looking back, I see how especially that healthy dose of discipline and responsibility shapes a person. And I know and see how I wouldn't have been who I am right now without that. So it's been, that was my upbringing, really. I just love my community so much because I just, like, casting back, it was just a very lovely community, a lot of support from the whole community.
What church did you attend?
I was a Presbyterian. So yeah, I am a Presbyterian.
I was just talking to you about
you
that.
were just talking, so you intentionally brought this up.
We have to take you back to the Presby church.
Yeah, I grew up in Presby, and I love my church. I love my church community, like my sisters and brothers that like we grew up together. We were in JY together, children's service, then JY, and all of that. And yeah, being impressed, like it's always a part of me, and I don't see myself as someone who is in one church, who belongs to one church. I belong to the Church of Christ. So I could be a Presbyterian again for the next 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
It's where God calls, like leads me, that I go, and then I spend the time there.
Nice. So I want you to tell us what it is you do. I know I said you're a researcher in like the mental health and psychology space, but what is it have you been doing?
Yeah, so I am a neuropsychology researcher. I studied psychology for my bachelor, so that was at the University of Ghana. Psychology, and that was major, sociology minor. And when I finished my bachelor's, I decided to pursue neuropsychology after a couple of encounters that we can get into later in the conversation. But then I went on to do a master's in neuropsychology. So that was a master's in cognitive neuropsychology in the Netherlands. And finishing that at Vrij University, I decided to do a PhD in neuropsychology. So that was when I came to Australia to do the PhD in neuropsychology. So my work mainly involves research. I do research in young people with neurological conditions or neurodevelopmental conditions such as brain injury, stroke, and similar conditions as well. So that's what I do. And then I have another role where I do mental health research, so involving people with significant mental health conditions living in the community.
Is that what you always wanted to do when you were young?
No.
Okay, tell me about that, because I don't remember anyone in my class growing up who the teacher would ask, what do you want to be in future?
I want to be a neuropsychologist.
I can't even remember anyone saying psychologist.
Psychology.
To say neuropsychology. I don't think we knew what that was.
I know.
So what led to that?
What led to that? So when I was younger, I wanted to be. It changed quite a bit, right? And when I talk to young people these days, I tell them, look, it's okay if you feel like, oh, I actually don't know what I want to do. That's fine. You will get to a space where you grow into something, and it's okay if you feel like, oh, I wanted to be this, but now I don't think I'm that person anymore. Anyway, so I wanted to be an architect when I was very young, because like I really love, and I'm so inspired by the ingenuity of like human imagination and creating things and seeing that thing that's just amazing. And then that changed when I went to secondary school. I was very good at elective math and economics. And I wanted
general arts.
Yes, at 2. Is it at 2?
Yes.
Yes.
So elective math, economics, geography.
Yes.
And what was the last one?
I did.
Just
the last one was French.
Yeah, because that's what I did.
Then I wasn't good at it.
So what did you do?
Then I did history. And I was like the best at it.
Ooh.
And then I was really good. I topped the class, but then something happened between me and the teacher, and I dropped. So I did only 3 electives in the end. Because when I switched to history, I had to study for whatever time I've lost, and then I took the exam, and I was like top of the class because I came in with fresh insight. So I think that's what will help me. But then one day I'm in my class, and then my class prefect comes and says, oh, the teacher says they can't find your report, because I wasn't in that class all the time. Like I wasn't part of the class. I think my report wasn't added. My report card wasn't added to the pile. So the class prefect told me that I have to go and look for it myself. So I went to the teacher's office, the staff office, and I started looking through the stuff to get my report card. And the teacher goes, hey, who told you to come do this? And I said, the class prefect told me to do it. And he just caned me. Yeah, he just like took a cane and like beat me like 6-7 lashes.
In the office?
Yes. And I was like, I'm a person who is big on justice. Like injustice, I can't deal with it. I fight for that for people.
Even at that age.
Yeah, that's my heart. So anyway, so when he did that, I said to him, "You'll never see me in your class again." Mhm. So
The guts.
I quit
like
the class. So when I said to him, "Why did you beat me?" Blah blah blah, and I said, "Because I came here because I was asked to do it." And he said, "Oh yeah, go and bring the class prefect." And he came the class prefect as well for giving me wrong direction. But I said to him, "You never see me in my class again." And the headmistress calls me and says, "Sorry, this happened." I said, "I'm never going back to his class, by the way, so I'm done. Can I just do 3 electives?" And she was like, 3 electives? I said, "Yeah. Can I do 3 electives?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said to her, "I can pass all of them." And she's like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes." So yeah, so I did 3 electives.
Wow.
That happened.
How old were you when you decided to take high school education into your own hands?
Yeah, 15, 16,
Oh,
I think it was.
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't, if I go to his class because of what happened, I'm not going to lean in. So there was no point wasting my time. So I focus on 3. Yeah. But back to your question.
Yeah.
Where were we? What was the question?
We were talking about how you got into architect.
Yeah.
You initially wanted to be an architect.
Yeah. So because I was so good at elective math and economics, I wanted to be an actuarial scientist. Oh. I was so fascinated by actuarial science.
But actuarial science?
Because of economics, the love for economics. So I thought, I want to be an actuarial scientist because I just love projecting and, working out the future planning and all of that with hard computational stuff. But so going to University of Ghana, I applied for actuarial science to UCC. That was when UCC had started, and University of Ghana was sort of trying to launch an actuarial science
department.
Yeah, but they hadn't settled and into that well. So I think I applied for some business courses at UG, thinking I was switching to actuarial science the second year. Oh, okay. But I didn't get into any of those programs.
You wanted to take the uni course into your hands again.
Yeah, I was trying to find my way. Anyway, so I didn't get into any of those programs because the actuarial science, I think they were taking up to 8th degree, like the score of 8, and I had a 10. Okay. So I didn't get into any of them. I was so cross. And one of my brothers was like, "Oh, maybe you can wait for the next year." And I was like, I'll be bored. So maybe I'll go to uni and start, and then the next year I'll apply again and then move. But when I went to uni, started doing psychology.
So then you just chose psychology?
Yes.
What made you choose psychology?
University of Ghana did not give me the courses I wanted, economics and whatever, but they gave me psychology.
So they gave you psychology?
Yes, they gave me psychology. So anyway, psychology with sociology as minor. Did psychology first year, and in the first year, University of Ghana, there's a whole bunch of, they take you through like the whole suite of psychology modules and what you could,
like the basics.
So you get to learn a lot. And I did biological psychology, which is like the foundational class for neuropsychology. And I was like, this is very fascinating. So that was where the interest started. And so then I continued. I did like psycho because I really liked it. It's fascinating about human behavior. And when I got to, I think, level 300 or 400, I met a neuropsychologist. So I went to do one of those courses that go more into neuropsychology. I selected it. And I met the first neuropsychologist that I met in my life. So his name was Professor Matikoli. Hi, Prof. And I love and respect him so much because he was my first. My mom is my first mentor, but he was like my first official mentor.
Professional mentor.
Yeah, professional mentor. And he, because I was so interested in that field, I went to talk to him and I said, "Hey, Prof, I want to be your mentee. Can you mentor me? I want to be a neuropsychologist." Oh, wow. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, why do you want to be a neuropsychologist?" And I told him that I'm passionate about it. I love the neuroscience aspect of it, but also like the gaps in our society and all of that. And
I was going to ask you that. Like, how many neuropsychologists have you heard in Ghana? Heard of in Ghana?
at the
Like,
time, he was the only one I
yeah.
knew. But when I got into his world, I met a couple of
Okay.
others as well. So he gave me a lot of opportunities, like volunteering with him at Kolibu
Oh, wow.
and Akai Clinic, where he was working as well.
Akai Clinic?
Yeah, he was working there. So I volunteered there with him as well. Got to learn how the day-to-day things are. Got to work with some of his patients as well, helping young people with.
Was that during uni?
That was
Or after?
during a little during uni and then during national service as well. So I was doing that, volunteering and doing national service. So it was really good. I'm really grateful to Prof for all those opportunities, because it gave me volunteering with him gave me good insight and confidence about what I wanted to do. I knew, okay, I definitely want to do this. And developing my research skills as well. So yeah, so that's how come neuropsych came up. So by the time I finished like linking up with him as a mentee and everything, I had started applying for schools outside Ghana to do my master's, because there wasn't a neuropsych program in Ghana at the time. So Prof really supported me to like do the applications, giving me reference letters, reading through my applications. So thank you so much, Prof. And yeah, and then I went to do my master's in that, and that's the rest is history.
So I can hear from what you've just said, Prof was your very first mentor. But was he practicing neuropsychologist, or was he just a researcher?
He's both. So he does a lot of work in aging and dementia.
Okay.
As a clinician in some of the places I mentioned, but also he's also like into academics, so lecturing and doing research at UG. Yeah.
All right. So at that point, did you decide you wanted to be a clinician, or you wanted to go into academic?
Very good question. At that time, the module I saw was research and clinical work, so that was what I had for myself. Like, oh, I want to like do research and I want to do clinical work, and so I went into my master's program. I didn't know when I went into my master's program, what I didn't know was that it was a mainly research training program, right? And there's a clinical component, but to be able to do it, I have to speak Dutch at very high professional levels. And that's understandable, because when you're working with patients, you don't want to be fumbling, because you want to like work with patients at a very high professional level. So during my master's, finishing up, it was honestly, my master's training is the best training I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Because the course was so good. Really teaches you about neuroanatomy and statistics training. It was just really, really good.
What university was that?
It was a university in the Netherlands called Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was a really good program, and I fell in love with research because of it. Because the research, it was a research master's program, so it trains you to be
a researcher,
top researcher. Okay. So yeah, so I really fell in love with that, and I was still sort of growing, exploring myself, getting to know who I was. When I finished the master's, I wanted to do a PhD, because I realized when I left Ghana at first, I thought, oh, I love Ghana so much. Like, you have no idea. I thought, I'm just gonna go 2 years and come back, right?
That's what we always say.
Yeah, exactly. When I left, when I finished the masters, Ghana was in very different spaces politically. I was more mature to understand a couple of things. And I realized that if I returned to Ghana just with my master's degree, I was going to be very frustrated, because I wouldn't be able to do any independent research. I won't have a voice on my own. So I knew I had to do a PhD to be able to become an independent researcher and to build my own research portfolio. So I applied to I think the US and Canada and Australia. I got opportunities in Canada and here in Australia. And I chose to do the PhD here in Australia, which I'm very, very happy that I did. Talking about my growth process and clinical versus research. So as I grew, I realized I'm a very empathic person. I'm very I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people in my life that I support emotionally. I have a lot of people who also like new people who come into my life, and then the relationship often involves into that. And I love doing that for people because I have a heart for people. But I also realized that because of that and some of my values, I realized I would struggle to be a good clinician within the professional sense of like the definition of the word. Some of the things that you be some conversations that I can have with someone. Let's say, how do I explain this? Like, based on my values, I'm a Christian, for example. So, based on my values, there are certain things I will talk about depending on what someone is talking to me about.
Yep. That in the professional setting.
In the professional setting, I can't bring myself.
Considered unprofessional.
Exactly. Yeah. So I can be all that with my friends and in my non-professional life, but I can't do that professionally, right? And I wondered about how authentic that would be. I haven't tried it, so I don't know. Maybe I'll be really. I think I can be a great clinician because I'm good at listening and I have a heart for people. Yeah. But that conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so, God is going to come into the conversation, whether they like
eventually.
it or not. Eventually.
Yeah. So it was going to be hard for me. So when I started understanding myself more, and also when I talk to people in the personal sense, I take it on a lot. Like I would always be thinking about the person, like I can't, I couldn't. And I'm told that clinical training helps you develop that. So for any young people listening, if like don't take this on face value because that was my choice.
Yeah.
But I'm told that clinical training can help you do that. In my case, I felt like I would not be able to be myself.
Yeah.
And I would struggle to bring
to come home as Edith.
Yes.
You would come home carrying the client stories with you.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the big things about working with people, especially I work as a community corrections officer.
Yeah.
And I'd say, so I've always worked with community. I've always worked in policy with people and stuff. That's what I love to do. But being a community corrections officer was that one job that was so hard for me to detach and come home. Like,
how did you manage that?
Now that's a good question. I feel like you've put me on the spotlight. How did I manage that?
I'm always curious when I talk to people who have.
So I think this will sound cliche, but I had like hobbies that like I love to sew. And so when I came home, that's something that I'll do.
Yeah.
And I will also, Aaron, poor Aaron, my husband. Aaron is someone who doesn't talk, but he listens a lot. So it was good because most of the time I didn't need him to say anything.
Yeah.
It was just I just needed somewhere to offload.
Yeah.
But Aaron understands. Like he understands the nature. He won't be able to give me professional advice or anything. But just that listening ear really helped. But again, it's one of the jobs that like I did struggle mentally to detach, because like you're saying, when you're a very empathetic person, when you're someone who, because sometimes I couldn't just understand my clients. I'm like, why can't you change? Why can't you change? Like, but it's not easy. Some people have had behaviors, and there's trauma, and there's upbringing. You've met someone who is 40 years with all of this life experiences, and you don't expect them to change within 3 months or even 6 months. No.
Even if they want to, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's really
change
hard.
is hard. And sometimes
they don't even need to change, Sometimes it's just accepting where things are and working
and working through with them at that point. So there was this change cycle that we used to go through. It was one of the modules that we used to have conversations with them. I really liked it. I used it with most of my clients because you identify at which stage they're at and where they wanted to be and what it would take them to get to that stage. And like you're saying, some of them they've just accepted it, like this is who I am. And so if you're sitting with someone who's been a drug user for like 20 years of their 30-year lifespan, you don't expect them to change because you are their officer or because they're
nor do they have to. They have to want that for themselves if they think they need that.
So and working with them, it's all about keeping the community safe. So how can we work with you I don't like what you're doing. I don't like the drugs you're using.
Like I wouldn't do it,
I won't
but
do
I
it,
respect
but I
that
respect,
yeah.
But how can we manage that? How can you manage that
Yeah.
to keep yourself and the people around you safe? So I do understand you a lot.
Yeah.
And my question here is, at that age and with the experience you had, that's really maturity for
Thank
you to
you.
say that I really love this, but I also know myself. And so for the benefit of the people that I'm going to be working with, let me take a step back
Yeah.
and do this instead.
Yeah. And I still do it a lot in my personal life, supporting people, but yeah, not just professionally. And it's interesting that you said that because I've had conversations since that decision. I've had conversations with people who are practicing clinically. And sometimes some of them are like, oh, I wish I had this insight earlier on. Yeah, because some of them did not think of that for themselves. But yeah, so that was for me. That's when I had clarity on that. And that's why I enjoy research so much because I know I love this. This is my passion. And then sometimes my husband is like, oh my God, like she's just going. But I'm actually really enjoying it.
Yeah.
When something is hard and it's the love of your life or something you really love, it's not, it's
becomes
challenging,
easy,
but it's
yeah?
fun.
Yeah,
Because you are like, you are in your elements. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoy what I do.
So now have you accepted the fact that you going to be doing research, or do you think that in a number of years or a couple of years you might change your mind and decide to do clinical?
No.
No.
No, people say never, but as of now, no. I am very clear on what my long-term goals are and what role research plays in that.
Yeah, but I'm keen because I know you have a mentorship program, so I know you're still doing that as it's not like you've put it aside completely. You've brushed it off. You've still created a space for yourself where you can still pour into people. Can you tell me about Zest circles? I knew you would. I was going to bring it up. I am going to bring it up.
So I think that's a very interesting connection coming from that conversation to this. I have a heart for people. And I've always been a person who is always supporting people to like grow, whether it's about like reviewing your CV for you or doing some interview coaching. I do a lot of interview coaching with people, just helping them prepare for interviews and all of that, and just sometimes just being there to listen and giving advice. So that's always been a part of me. I'll have people reach out on LinkedIn and sometimes say, hey, could you be my mentor? And then I'll arrange meetings with them. I've always wanted to, it started with Ghana, trying to like think of how do we support the youth in Ghana. So many different ideas came to me over the years. For over 5, 6, 7, almost 10 years, I had a Facebook page where we would post like inspirational stuff, but also scholarship opportunities and jobs. I was collaborating with my sister in the UK, Stephanie. Hi.
Your stepsister?
She's like my sister from another mother, and we were doing that initiative for a while. It didn't get up, like it didn't become big or anything. But those are the things that led to this, right? And mentorship has always been very, very big part of me because of the story I shared with you. I know how much mentorship has done for me. If I didn't meet like my first professional mentor, Prof, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I know how having someone who has done a particular journey or who has insight into where you are trying to go, or some experience of that, can really help you avoid mistakes, but also go faster because they could potentially connect you with other people on the same journey as you. Lots of benefits there. Besides my first mentor, I've had the benefit of being mentored by so many other amazing people. In the Netherlands, I had my supervisor, Marsh Collins. He was an amazing mentor to me. Coming here into Australia, I've been mentored by my PhD supervisors, and we have beautiful relationships even until today.
That's good.
But also, I was enrolled in professional mentorship programs. So I've had about 3 mentors, different mentors through professional mentorship programs, each of whom I was connected with for about a year.
Okay.
So I would like meet them every month or every 2 weeks, depending on what the program was like.
During PhD?
during PhD and a little after PhD as well. So I would enroll myself in these because I'm always hungry to learn and I love to ask questions about how people go where they are and learn from the insights of other people. And so I've always, I have had, I'm so grateful to all those people because I learned so much. And there were different patches in my life that they all held my hand through to have clarity around where I was going and what I wanted to do and what I'm thinking. Even when I finished my PhD, I said to my mentor, I want to go into industry and do research. My mentor's like, or maybe do a postdoc first in research, So all of these, and when a mentor tells you something, they give you a reason why. So when you make that decision, you know why you did it. It's not like you're guessing or that you're just trying things out, which can also be great. But that has been very, very beneficial to me. I would like to particularly mention my mentor, Carmel O'Brien. She was my mentor through one program here in Australia, the Aimless Mentorship Program. And our relationship has evolved from mentoring, like become mentor-mentee, to now coaching. Like we co-coaching each other, and I'm just so grateful to her because she spent a lot of her time with me, So for someone who has received so much from people, like so much, those people didn't have to spend their time with me.
Yep.
It's once a month, 1 hour to an hour and a half catch up. That's time they could rest or do something else, but they choose to spend it with me. And I have seen how it's benefited me. I just wanted to pay back. I wanted to give that back to the society. And while I've done that informally for so many years, like with catching up with people, every week to 2 weeks, I've got someone booked for an hour or something that I was mentoring. Most of them were in Ghana, some in the UK, US. So it was a job, part of my job. So the passion to mentor people has always been there. And I started thinking of Zest. The name has changed over the years, but for the last 8 years or so, it's been on my heart. Like God planted that dream in my heart to create a mentorship program. So I've had different variants of the proposal for this program. And it's interesting because when you start dreaming of something, the idea could look very different from what it grows into. And I'm sure anyone who started any initiative or company would know this, that like things grow and evolve, and you might think of it very differently from the inception, but as you bring other people on board, it can become something else. So initial ideas of this was like to mentor young people in the community where I grew up, right? And I tried to like get other friends on board. People, when a dream is in your heart, it's yours, right? Other people may not understand it. So the same passion, they can't bring the same passion. So you find yourself trying to like pull them along and say, we have to do this. And you're like, why can't you see it? This is amazing. And so I did that for a couple of years where it's like, oh, let's meet, let's do that. And it wasn't working. And I took a bit of a step back because when I was finishing a PhD, it was quite stressful. Still thinking, okay, I need to settle myself first, get a job and all of that, and then do this. Finally, this year, I'm 2025, at the start of the year, because every year I'm a person who plans annually, right? My husband and I, we do like a retreat start of the year to do our planning. So we are planning, and it's been on my yearly plan every year since it's been in my heart for over 8 years. Right? And it keeps like shifting. And so every time you do your mid-year review of your plans or end of year review, you feel like a failure. Right? Like you have all these dreams, you're not doing them. So this year, finally, after we did our yearly planning, I was like, that's it, I'm gonna start it. And for anybody who has a dream or anything that you it's not everything that you want to do that you should do, but if you have something in your heart that is just not going away, that's a burden on you. That's your soul telling, that's your spirit telling you that this is most likely part of your mission in life. Just start. Because
I feel like you're talking directly to me. I feel very attacked right now.
Well, you are living your dream.
No, this is on this, but there's this number 1111.
Yeah.
I think I spoke to you.
You spoke to me about it.
That it's been. You keep talking. I just feel attacked, but it's a good attack, positive attack.
No, but just start, because I realized that all those years when I was like shaping I'm a researcher, right? like writing the proposal and like
Perfect.
going, oh, we need to think about this, like shifting the proposal, like putting all this stuff in and doing all that paperwork. And every year there's like a new version of it. Um, but never really doing anything to move until you can do all the planning, but you need action before anything will happen.
Take just that one step.
So this year starts and I just get on my computer. I'm like, I'm starting this thing. I jump online. I'm like, play with the name, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I need to develop a logo. I worked on that myself. I'm like, oh, I like this logo. Played with a few templates of the logo. Okay, I got a logo. Okay, I need a admission form. I created all the admission forms. Because I've got the proposal, right? So I've just like picked stuff from it to talk about what the program is all about. Okay, how am I going to host these things? I set up all the things, like all the IT work that like infrastructure that needs to go behind. I set it all up. In a space of 3 to 5 days, I was ready to go. Because I'm a person who, when I focus on something, I can get it done. But one other thing was that with this program, I never felt ready for it. And all the formal mentorship programs I knew of used the module of one-on-one mentorship. I found that to be very overwhelming when I thought of it, like, how am I going to manage a one-on-one mentorship program? Because my mind, I'm a planner. So I think, oh my God. So I'm going to like every week check up on the mentors and go, have you met with this person? Blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah. And it was just overwhelming because I've got jobs, 2 jobs, for example, that I'm doing all of that. And I've always been a busy person. So it was just overwhelming whenever I think of how it will work. Then last year, I read this book, Change Your World. It's by John Maxwell. And one of the modules they talk about in the book was roundtables. So they talk about the concept of roundtables and talk about transformational tables, and they talk about how transformational tables are being used in different communities around the world, like Guatemala and other places, to transform communities. People are doing round tables in their home, for example, where maybe friends come over every week or 2 weeks and they just talk about life, and more talking about values, right? It's a value-based conversation. And I was like, that was where it clicked for me. I was like, that's what I needed. Because my mentorship program has always been about values, because I know that people can be as successful as whatever, but if their values are not in the right place, all that success can come crumbling down in a minute. And so values was a big part of it, in addition to helping you reach your professional goals. So I read that book. I'm like, this is what I need. So I've literally adopted that transformational table idea into my mentorship program. And so it's like a small group based mentorship program. And when I had that vision, I was like, oh, that's it. Like, that's what I needed. And then I felt like I could go ahead and do it. So yeah, that's how Zest has come to be. It's my heartbeat. That's like, it's neuropsychology, sleep, and mentorship. Those are my things that I'm very passionate about, like my impact areas.
Tell me about the name Zest.
I've told you this before.
Yeah, tell me and my audience. I want them to know.
Okay, so Zest is mainly about enthusiasm. I love the word enthusiasm, and this mentorship program is meant to inspire young people. And we started with a trial, which is based in Ghana. So we had 30 young people enroll from Ghana, and we started. And I'm so grateful to the 8 mentors in the program. Thank you guys so much, because some of them were even people that I didn't know, that were introduced by other friends, and we formed this amazing team of mentors, and we have so much fun every month when we finish and we're doing our debriefing sessions. But where these are people who are like-minded, and we all have the passion to invest in the next generation of leaders. And so it's just amazing when you meet other people who have the same passion with you. So guys, thank you, because talking to someone, I was like, sorry, would you want to be a mentor on the program? Look, this is how it's gonna be. We're not gonna take too much of your time, but we can't pay you because we don't have money. So yeah, just starting this from scratch with no funding or anything, and it's just so fulfilling. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Like I said, your story just hits or somewhere deep. I have studied. But,
yes.
And
this is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
You just
the thing.
start.
And I like what you said about when you think of the dream, and sometimes when you start, it would look different. It would evolve, because as human beings we evolve. Like the Nana or Abnature I was 10 years ago is not the Abnature I am now.
Yeah.
I have evolved. My values, the core values remain the same, but the things that I've envisioned, or they've evolved over time. And I think as visionaries we need to give ourselves grace to understand that it may not look like what we initially envisioned, but again, what does success mean to you? I think that's a question we need to ask. What, when you first thought of this dream, or what was the main goal? What did you see? And in your head, you had maybe just one journey, one linear journey that you thought would get you to that point. But you never know what God has in store. So at the other side, have you still been able to achieve the initial dream, even though it hasn't worked out or panned out this way you intended it or thought it? Like bringing in people, I get you. Sometimes they come in with, and they can't understand your passion or what you want to do. Like everyone is coming in with the idea, but this is your baby. This is but it's not ours. I read this post on LinkedIn the last time. Like, we are just vessels that God is using. And if you don't open yourself up, he's going to get someone else to do whatever he needs to be done, because their lives and souls depending. I always say this, that the destinies of other people are waiting on some of us to fulfill ours for them to also benefit, right? So I thank you so much. The last time I met you and you told me it was like Zest was your baby, I'm like, oh my gosh, because when you posted that program with Prof, I was like, I really wanted to sit in, and then you're like, sorry, it's closed.
But you can come for the like initial sessions though. You can.
No, I will, because I really wanted to sit in that meeting with Prof. But thank you so much.
It was amazing though. I have got it recorded.
Oh, nice. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'd love to listen to, but thank you so much for heeding to that call, because it's not easy to take action.
No, it's not, and it's scary because you think, oh, you've got 2 jobs, you've got all of these other things that you do on the side. Can you do it? And I'm really grateful to my husband, because he's very supportive. Like, he's very supportive. He's like,
Thank you to our husbands.
Yes, you've got an amazing husband as well with this.
Because I think there are certain things, we are women who dream a lot. Like sometimes I'm like, calm down, but my brain is just.
Do you wake up in the middle of the night solving the world's problems?
And it's like,
and sometimes he'll look at me, he'll wake up and he's like, why are you not sleeping? I'm like, I've got things on my mind.
I can't, like with these, those inspirational quotes I've been putting up the last month. I just woke up in the middle of the night one time and I put down about 8 of them at once, because they were just playing in my head over and over again for a couple of days. And just one night I just gave up and I just took my phone and started writing it down. And so
good on you.
But thank you to our partners, because without them, like this whole setup, whenever I have to sit down with Anita, I don't care about the setup, the cameras, the sound, and anything, because I know he's got it. I just need to sit down and get ready to talk, because I love to talk. That's what
and having also, like, I think one of the biggest blessings that I'm really grateful for my husband is just having the peace of mind, even having peace of mind to you need to be in a healthy headspace to have dreams, right? Let alone to find the energy to pursue those dreams or like work on them. So I think that's a blessing, peace of mind in a home.
Thank you. Thank you so much, our husbands. We appreciate you. But this is my question to you. So with all that you're doing with the research, Zest, and I know clinical would have been something that would have
amazing.
Excelled.
I would have.
But you've still been able to pour into others.
And mentorship space is different. It's coaching. And that's my kind of personality. I'm a problem solver. So even with friends, sometimes I have to like hold myself back, and I've tried to learn a lot about sometimes you don't always have to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to listen. So I've had to like learn that, but my natural self is like, once you tell me something,
You need to find the solution.
how many steps can we take to solve this,
Yeah.
right? Like, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? And that is the kind of personality that thrives in coaching space. And that's why I think I enjoy mentoring.
Yeah.
Because when people come into mentorship space, yes, they need someone to listen to them, but they are more looking for solutions.
And to take action as well.
Yes.
But in the clinical setting,
different.
it's different.
Yes.
It's more you telling the person. And sometimes they're not even in that space where they're not ready.
Yeah, nor should they be. They don't have to. If they are, they might be willing to. But when you come to a clinical, sometimes even the energy to think of tomorrow is difficult.
Yeah.
Let alone, so it's a very different space.
And it would have been frustrating for you. Very frustrating.
It would have been really frustrating.
Sometimes my clients, some of them walk out and I literally cry in the office briefly before. Because I'm like, why?
I'm like, you need to break out of this, like, yeah. Whereas with a mentee, I can go, I don't think this is good for you.
Like, you asked me for my opinion, so I'm going to give it to you.
Do you want to know what I think? Like, I can give it.
Yeah.
That I enjoy that space.
Yeah, sweet. Wow, so much insight. Like, wisdom is really, and you've got so much of it. Dr. Botchway.
Oh, God.
Dr. Botchway.
Funny.
You don't hear that often?
I find it funny. And I hear it.
You ended.
Yeah, I did.
You ended. 4 years PhD. Nah, you ended. So I want to ask you this. Do you believe your career, whatever you're doing now, aligns with your purpose?
Yeah.
And your life goals? In what way?
I think we've talked about the mentorship thing. Yeah.
In terms of work, the research aspect.
The research aspect. I think I love neuroscience, like I mentioned before. I love neuropsychology. I've been one of my neuropsychology role. I've been doing that role since finishing my PhD in 2019. And I'm part of this research network called Australian Research Network for African Academics. I'm one of their executives in there, and a lot of people in my network move around a lot to different universities, and they get bigger positions, sometimes more money. So I see that, right? And I realized that in Australia, for example, if you want to move fast in your career, you move around. But I don't feel like doing it. So like the money is not a motivation to want to move around, and maybe I'll regret it later. But as of now, I'm happy. Yeah. I'm fulfilled. Like I love the people I work with. I love what I get to contribute to. The lives of young people and their families, that we get to like do research to help them understand better what's going on, but also to help medical physicians and other people support them better. I like it. Yeah. Nice. I really enjoy it. And in terms of my mental health research job as well, it's very different from my other research job because the topic is different, but I'm really enjoying the environment, the collaboration, and so I'm happy.
Sweet. And then on that note, my next question is, how do you, Dr. Botchway, define success beyond the titles, salaries, and accolades? What's success to you?
Good question. And this So I was listening to a podcast 2 days ago. I was listening to a program that was put together by John Maxwell and 3 of his friends, and they were doing like a master class on leadership. It was such an interesting conversation. Anyway, and then in that conversation, I've heard John talk about this before, but then he talked about his definition of success, which was that the people in his life or people closest to him love and respect him more than the people who don't know him. Yeah. But then he went on to prompt other people to find their own definition of success. And I thought, I don't think I've worked on my definition of success. I don't have an answer for you. I have to think about it and and come up with my own definition, what it means to me. But roughly, so this might change, but roughly what has guided me in my life is I don't care about titles. So when I did my PhD, for example, I did it because of the voice it gives me and the impact I can make with it.
And even with that, I won't stop you, but
Yeah.
to have that insight when you made that comment, because
Yeah.
one of my questions was going to be, what made you go ahead to do the PhD? But you answered it. Like most of my questions, I didn't have to. That's why I said it will just flow.
Yeah.
But to say that you sort of gauged the situation in Ghana at the time, and you realized if you just went with your master's degree, you weren't going to be able to make the impact.
Yeah.
So to even have that, because many people are doing PhD now, I don't think they've really sat down to really think through it. Like, why am I really doing this? Like, do I really want to be in this space?
There was this man I met in the Netherlands, sorry, he's a Ghanaian man, a friend's uncle. And then when he met me at first, I didn't say, sorry, I met him, yeah, I'm called Ghana. I'm not gonna stay here. I came here to go. I want to live in Ghana. And I'm saying, Edith, yes, I did. You know, like he used to advise me. So later, when I told him I'm not going, he's like, I feel like going. And then he tells my husband, wait, the piano so called Ghana.
Like it's at our heart. I remember I had this mentor at uni, Ghanaian-Australian, God bless his soul, he's passed on.
Yeah.
But I remember he used to sit me down and talk to me about my plans for the future after uni, because of this dream I had about Nachie village and the children and stuff. And I'll just tell him, at 27, I'm going back home. I'm going to Ghana. And it's sort of like I knew the future. Because he kept telling me, he's like, Nana, have you thought this through? Like, have you worked it out, what that would look like? I know you're passionate, but you can always do it from here. You can always connect with people. I'm like, no, I'm going to Ghana. I have to be in Ghana.
I can relate to that.
And then sometimes I sit back, I'm like, oh, God bless this guy. But right now, I'm sure he's in heaven or wherever he is, looking down on me. He's like,
bless him. Yeah, I told you.
I told you. 29 and you're still here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, sometimes people help shape those journeys for us. But also, you learn and you evolve. And it's okay to, that's why it's good to take time and reflect on yourself. Because you realize, I'm not this person anymore. Version 3 or version 4.
Yeah. Update it.
And do your best. Yeah.
But yeah, success. So not about the title.
Yeah, not about the title. So after I finished the PhD, I know there are people who are like associate professors and professors. I had no idea how you get it, right? So I was like, I always say to my husband, I'm like, if it has to take me to apply for it, I'm not gonna do it, right? Then I asked some colleagues, I'm like, how do you become a professor or this? And they're like, oh, you applied for it and this. I'm like, I'm happy with doctor. But then I was like, can I get paid more when I stay doctor for and I'm doing good work, right? And they're like, no. So then I was discussing with my husband, I was like, maybe this would be the only reason why I actually do it. Because you don't want to be, it's not about the money for me, but you don't want to, I don't think my soul will feel good when I know I'm putting in really good work and I'm not getting compensated at the levels I need to. So that would be like, that could be demoted. So you need to, as a human being, for yourself, you also want to see progress, right? But if I could still progress without furthering to become a professor, I don't need. I'm happy. No, it's not about titles for me. It's about just living the life that I want, being in a loving relationship, because family is so important to me, having like a stable home and marriage, and being in a fulfilling that relationship, but also a fulfilling relationship with my immediate family, like my brothers and my mom, my in-laws, having those rich relationships. And having a home where people feel they can come, and like those are the things that make me happy. Having dinner with people, having community, having a job that I love. That's it for me. So my definition will look very much like that, but it's not refined yet.
It's not refined yet. All right. We'll hold on to that. Next time when we get you on the podcast, hopefully it would have been refined. You talk more about it.
Think about it and
Yeah. Sweet. So my final question would be: you have the choice to choose. If you met Edith 10 years ago, to take you back 10 years ago, and you met, or 10, let's say 20 years ago, and you met Edith, what would you tell Edith? So that's the first one. Or you can choose, who would you like Edith to be in the next 10 to 20 years? Let's say 15 to 20 years. Where would you, if you were to be given like a time machine or time travel machine or whatever, where would you like to see Edith in the next 15 to 20 years? Or if you met Edith 15 to 20 years ago, what would you tell?
Or travel backwards, go into the future.
Yeah. So one is going back into the past and the other one is going into the future. Which one do you want to take?
Wow, you are good. Which one would you take?
Edith, this is... You've put me on the spotlight so many times today.
I'm just curious. I would go to my younger self.
Okay.
What would I tell her? Wow. Oh gosh. Oh, that's a really good question, by the way. A couple of things that I'll tell my younger self. First one is around like my family, right? Like I think I would tell her to enjoy her dad and mom more, because like we're here in Australia, right? So far to go home. My dad passed in 2016. God bless him. But yeah, I would like enjoy that more, be more intentional about that and the time at home. I would tell her how proud I am of her. Like I will encourage her that she's doing her best and she's doing very well, staying focused and like bringing value to her community and herself, investing in herself and investing in her studies. And because I was a young person, was very studious, right? I would always I had my timetable and I'll keep to it. I'll tell her how proud I am of her for being that conscientious and taking her life seriously. I'll probably tell her to rest a bit more. To just learn to chill. And just rest a bit more and learn to relax. Because it's not good to always be
on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll definitely impress on her to rest a bit more. And I'll tell her to just that she's doing all the right things. Or I'll take that back, that she's doing her best. And that God has got everything and it's going to be fine. And not to worry too much. And not to worry too much about things that didn't work out the way that she thought they should or would. Yeah.
Wow, that's heavy.
Sure,
15, 20 years ago. Would be so encouraged.
Yeah, and that it's all going to be fine.
And whoever is in that age bracket, so that's around 15 to 20 years.
15, 20.
20 years. Whoever is in that age bracket, that was for you as well.
Yeah, and it's often, it's going to be fine as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
And whatever decisions you make, to just make sure that you are making the best decision you can in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I always say there are no shouldas. But sometimes it's hard with some decisions. It's hard to go, I shouldn't have done this, or I should have done this. But in the end, it just works out. Because no matter what we do and how much time, how much we think we can achieve in our own strength, it's about where God is taking us and what God has got in store for us. I always tell people that if God cares about, he said, I care about the lilies in the field. And if he cares about little things to us, right? He definitely cares about where you're going to spend the next 1 year or 2 years, right? So there are different alternatives in your life, depending on whatever choice you make. And God is not going to push us to any particular choice, but he's going to be with us no matter what choice we make. Yeah. It doesn't mean every choice will be good. Some will lead us to more difficult roads, but God will definitely put people on our path to lead us to gentler roads if we are willing to respect people and listen and, just choose right, because your heart always knows what the right choice is in every situation. And sometimes it's hard, but you know it. So if you ignore that voice, then maybe it might be harder for you because you chose a particular path. And God is still going to be with you, but it's just going to be harder. In the end, if you just treat people right and be kind to people and you try to treat people as you would want everyone to treat you, first principle, then it'll be fine. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Botchway.
Thank you for having me, Cha. It's been amazing. I love your questions.
No, I love talking to you. I wish we could go for a long time. But that means you're coming back, because I feel like there's a lot we could have talked about. There's a lot of areas. You're definitely coming back to the podcast. You've got a lot of wisdom to share. Thank you so much.
Wisdom. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And it's been good, and I hope it helps someone, and it's definitely helped me, because your last question really takes you back, right? Yeah. And you think of life
and how it's.
But aren't we grateful?
We are.
If it was up to us, right? No chance. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. All right. I think we've come to the end of today's session. Like I said, I don't want it to end, but everything that has a beginning has an end. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've learned a thing or two from today's conversation. Dr. Botchway is definitely coming back to us. But stay blessed, stay safe, and we'll catch you in our next episode.